realize like I'm like living someone else's life, my whole life, almost. Um, Hell, even when I'm like making explosives and throwing rocks through people's windows, I feel like maybe I'm just doing that because like I have to do that. Like, because it's the only answer to this world. You know, when I do stuff like that, um, it makes me, I look back at it like, you know, you were just like, you were the answer to this world. You were like burning this bitch down to the ground to the ashes, where the ashes could regenerate the trees. And the trees haven't caused too many problems. I mean, they got leaves and leaves are dirty and stuff. But you know, that's about it. Trees haven't caused me. Trees allow me to punch them in like heavy bags and stuff like that, and kick them and stuff. They don't care too much, and I can chop at them with the machete. They don't care too much. Um, you know, they put leaves on the ground, kind of dirty, but oh well. I mean, people are pretty dirty too. So, but you know, I realize like my whole life, like I've been told like not to do this and that, and then to do this and that, to do this other stuff, and like like I'm finding myself actually doing this stuff even on my own now, and it's like I'm sitting in the movie theater yesterday, and like I can't help but think every 30 seconds or something like, why am I sitting here? Like why the hell would I come to a theater and watch a movie and it's like I'm about to fall asleep here. Because I usually do. Like, if I go to the theater, I'll fall asleep like after an hour. Because it's just like, oh my God, it's bed. It must be nap time. You put on TV. TV's for bedtime. TV's put you to sleep. Literally, that's what TV does. It puts your brain to sleep. And, you know, the world's over. The world's over. Might as well go to sleep. And and then I'm doing all this other stuff. Like I got these cool, you know, rainbow flag outfits now. I don't dress like I used to. And whatever, it's cute and cool, but it's not gonna attract anyone I like. Like, I don't know. I guess the last girl I dated were both metal and really nice stuff. But I also felt at the same time she might have been doing that as part of her job as an FBI agent, or just trying to convince me she was one of them, because girls are always trying to be like, oh, I'm a metalhead to get with me and stuff. Um, so I'm pretty sure they're buying shirts and stuff like that to hang out with me. But anyways, um, like I'm not even dressing like myself anymore, really. Um, yeah, I don't. I'm not allowed to talk like myself. I'm not allowed to think like myself. I'm not allowed to do. I used to like three things in this world, and I don't like them anymore because they all remind me of this stuff, of why, of like I'm not allowed to do those three things, and so every time I do them, I'm like, I'm just like pissed off when I try to do them. And I don't know about sex, but it's like sex, music, and like video games. I quit video games. Um, and then, like now, I'm sure if I go back to playing them, I feel the same way. Like someone asked me the other day, "You like video games, don't you? Like you really like your video games, don't you?" And like they knew me or something, like my whole life, and it was one of them. You know, one of these people we can't name. Like they acted like they knew me my whole life or something, and it's like, well, she's like, no, I don't actually like video games. I use them to ignore this world. I just play them until I die. I'll sit around and play video games till I die because I'm trying to ignore the fact I'm being forced on this planet. And in fact, I don't like it at all. I'm realizing this while I'm playing the game. Like, why am I playing this game? Because you're not allowed to do anything else. And I mean, technically, I didn't even want to play the game I was playing. So, yeah, like, why am I playing this game? I don't, because if I start banging my head into the wall, you guys are gonna call the fucking, the mental hospital and have me hauled away again? Like, if I start fucking, cutting my wrist up, trying to cut my neck up and cut my veins open, you guys gonna call the doctor, the police, and have them fucking take me to a mental ward? Like, that's why I'm playing a game. Because I already thought of this other stuff and the outcomes of what's gonna happen. Because if I try to drum, you're not gonna allow me. If I try to do anything I want to do, which is there's 3 things or something at this point, and 0 things, I think. I don't know about the sex thing. The sex thing is actually really boring because, the females, the humans, they're kind of not alive. They're not real. It's if there's a God who created this world and it's all his thoughts, I can totally understand how that works. You are everything, and then everything you've created is one small section of that, and you're probably oh, this is lame. And I kind of I see and feel that, and I notice when I'm with other people, I think the only feelings I get from them sometimes are the feelings I give to them, because I'm super empathic, or so that's what I thought it was. But it's if I'm creating these people, it's I don't know why they're so lazy. Supposedly, if you pay a female, they're not lazy. Supposedly, people in porno aren't lazy and stuff. Who knows? I've never bought a prostitute like most males probably have. I mean, most males buy a prostitute for life, and they call it a wife. And it's a one-time use prostitute that stays around forever and has a fee forever, permanent fee. But yeah, I'm doing all this stuff that other people want to do. It's and it's stuff I made fun of my whole life. It's not really interesting, but it's what can I do to get away from these other people? Let me go climb a mountain and just stay at the top of the mountain because no one else is at the top of the mountain. Everyone else is taking the trails around the mountain and jogging, and I'm cutting my own trail up the mountain. Why am I doing that? Because no one else is doing it. No one else is going to be there. Maybe I'll meet someone like me doing that. Never, I'm going to find a girl doing anything I do, trailblazing like I do. I guess Laura Dunham blaze her own trails, but I thought that was an FBI agent. So, I mean, what am I supposed to think when you work with the government and stuff like that, and work with the Hollywood people? It's you're telling me you work for the people I'm opposing and hunting down, and then the world isn't telling me I'm inventing it at that point. But then again, who is that buffer in between? But anyways, so the only thing I really see at this point that seems to be me is this magic stuff, whatever this inventing the world around me stuff is. That's semi interesting, but it's not I mean, it's what am I gonna do? Fucking create an army of the dead and earthquakes and volcano eruptions and giant solar flares. It's I can. Why would I want to create a cassette tape deck or a VHS player? Those are stupid little things. But everything. That's not the point of this video. The point is I'm doing all this stuff that other people want to do. It's my life almost has always been doing what other people want, and then in between that, I'm running away or just destroying everything, and I'll literally lock myself in my house for decades and stuff, and smash phones, and this phone right here is pretty smashed looking. If you look at it from where I'm looking, you can barely see it. And when I was a kid, I would smash every phone, pretty much, even the $1,000 phones back then. And it was for good reason too. It's the phone was used to waste my life and burn my time, and just at the end of any call, I'd be like, what was the point of this? Why did I stop doing something fun and get on a phone? Like literally, I'll be thinking, I'll be thinking that after I make a YouTube video too. Like why did I just do that? Like that's why I don't upload most of my videos. So small reason why, like 7 reasons. But I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I talking to a phone? Why do I have any phone? And it's like right now, the only reason I think I have phones is because I have GPS on these devices, and I'd be totally lost without GPS. Other than that, like, I don't even have GPS if I'm not like in a city. I don't even have phone service right now. So it's just like, I'm using other people's internet and stuff, because I don't understand the plans outside, and I just quit paying them. And why pay for something inside the USA if I'm not there? It's of no use to me to have their network if I don't use it. But and it's like everyone's on the computer now too, and it's like, well, I went off the computer. It's like when I was on computers before, no one's on them. But I'm tired of this stuff. I'm tired of nature too. It's not like I want to go back to trees and mountains. Ooh, trees and mountains, grass. Do you guys know there's grass out there too? If you go to a hill or a mountain, there's grass. Ooh, grass, and there's air. Ooh, there's air. And then there's trees. And there could be ants. Ooh, ants. Ooh. So exciting. So exciting. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not interested in none of this stuff. But it's like I found myself doing it just to try to escape like a world that's like told me to do nothing but that stuff too. And so now I'm using what they've told me to do to escape them, and to escape them from telling me what to do. But I kind of don't have any other choice, because if I be me, then it doesn't always play out very well. There's people like, whoa, you're the devil. Oh, you're loud. Ooh, 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 ooh. They've got all these things, and it's like, like I didn't say anything about anyone else for like 38 years, but I got a lot of stuff to say now because I've been sitting around watching for 38 years and listening to their bull crap. And now I got a lot to say. Now, because I understand it, like they've been running their mouths since they were born. And I've been sitting back listening to them run their mouths since I was born. So, who learns? The person who listens. Who doesn't learn? The person who talks. So I got a lot to say, and it makes a lot of sense too. And everyone else kind of just is like saying the same stuff over and over. It's kind of like a same thing. There's certain people out there, maybe, who haven't complained about certain things. Now, they're like one of the 3 things I like. I think I've tested everyone on, and they've all failed except for one girl who I only knew one night. And when you know someone for one night, you don't know them. You got to live with them for 7 days, and then you've got to test. But most people, like, I can break them by day 2. I can, break their facade and break through the lies. I have them break through the lies for me. So it's really easy. But it's like I get the same thing, and now I'm like, to escape them, I'm doing what they want me to do. And it's like, I'm not even living my own life. I haven't been. And it's like, I'm like dead. I'm like 40 years old. I'm already dead. Like, there's nothing left. I'm just a walking corpse these days. I'm like a shell of what I could have been if I was ever allowed to be me. And the fucked up thing is every time I'm something, 10 years later, the world wants to be it. So, and by that time I moved on and I'm someone else. I mean, it probably doesn't help being like railroaded and stomped down by everyone or by a portion of society. I'm sorry, certain things only certain people open their mouths about. But the whole corralling and trying to herd me, like I don't get like I, I don't I don't appreciate that stuff. And then like the whole taking my life from me, especially when I'm like one of the most able people out there, and in short time, like I become like the highest scoring person in school. I mean, I was kind of born that way. I shouldn't use that as an example. I had no idea where that came from. I was just born that way. But it's like, in short time, I became like one of the top drummers in the world, playing some of the top song, some of the most intricate songs in the world, and just totally bored with that simple stuff everyone else plays. And it's like on an level, Olympic athlete level performance. Seriously, you, I've been in the hospital long before I got to those levels. And same with my martial arts and everything else. It's like, I mean, my whole body is like used to be scarred up. I don't know. I heal kind of good, and maybe my bones are all out of shape from being beaten in the clubs and stuff like that. But I could probably just like hit someone and knock their brain out of their skull, and just I've excelled so much at everything I choose to do. But then society's like, oh no, don't do that. Like I've literally been kicked out of gyms before because I was hitting the heavy bag so hard it sounded like an M60 machine gun. And you could tell like people in the gym were probably not very happy about that because they would all like turn their heads almost like every time I looked up, they were looking. And then they made an excuse why I'm not allowed back in the gym. And it's like, oh, well, like you're either jealous or like everyone here is pissed off that I'm hitting the heavy bag and it's so fucking loud when I hit it. And it's probably a mixture of both. And like other people definitely act the same way too. I mean the jealousy thing, I guess I get that a lot too. And then that kind of ties into this too, because if I don't do what everyone else wants and hang out with them and do what they want and try to do my own thing, they start to get jealous, like of me and possessive. And uh, I don't know. I had this one person who went like the last time we hung out. They were just asking me every 4 hours, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" That's like all they had to ask anymore. But they would still ask it every 2 to 4 hours. Where are you doing? What you going? What you doing? Where you going? Where you doing? What you doing? Where you going? And I was like, well, I was like sick of that after the first time I got to ask it, because it's like, dude, you of all people know that like what I'm doing is probably none of your business, and what I'm doing is probably halfway illegal, or at least the people around me are doing illegal shit, and I shouldn't run my mouth about that. And now you're asking me, where am I doing? What am I going? What am I doing at 3 a.m.? Where am I going? Where am I going at 4 a.m.? Where am I going at 1 a.m.? Oh, what are you doing at 1 a.m.? What are you doing on Friday night at 1 a.m.? It's like, I'm babysitting some children, dude. Babysitting some children. But, they got, I swear, like the less I told them, the more jealous they got and stuff. And I even brought a girl around them at one point, and like you could tell they're like super jealous, even though they had a hot girl. I guess they were tired of that person. They get tired of the girls they're with after the first night they're with them. So I, I unfortunately I can add people up real fast, but I'm like living this life that's not mine. I'm like doing all this stuff that's not me. I'm like I'm like in nature with the animals and the trees and the grass and the ants. And I'm like trying to like make it exciting and cool. And it kind of is when I got machetes and I can like chop down forests and stuff. But not really. I mean, I guess, yeah, that's the most advanced sword techniques I've ever used, because when you play with swords, you don't actually learn how to chop and cut through stuff. Like, so if you go against a person, you might not even actually hurt them. And hell, you could hurt yourself from the shock of hitting something. But other than that, I'm out on these mountains and in these parks and stuff, and in these places where people are listening to old people music, and old people are like dancing, and then they're listening to pop culture music, and they're all dancing, and the pop culture people are dancing, and like I can't help but keep thinking, like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Like, why am I being forced to be here? Why am I being forced to go through this? Because I don't want to be like everyone else. I'm not. I don't. I mean, I actually do. I actually do want to be like everyone else. I want to be just brain dead and whacked, and like not be able to have any thoughts at all. Like that's probably pretty beneficial to be a normal, be whatever everyone else is, a person or something else, some other species. That's all I know. And but it's like I don't really like it. I don't like doing this stuff. Like I'm in the theater, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? And it's like, oh, you're doing this like to get away from the world outside the theater and stuff. And the world outside the theater that was asking you to go to the theater with them and stuff. Like that's why you're going to the theater now, to get away from that world.